What is up, guys? Delboy here. A quick card preview for Rocky Fielding versus Canelo Alvarez. This fight goes down this weekend at the Madison Square Garden Arena in New York. In the USA, this card will be shown on DAZN, and in the UK, it will be shown on Sky Sports. We will start with the main event. I have seen a few people criticise this fight, and rightly so. You know, essentially, it is a bit of a mismatch. It is a stay busy fight, and, you know, it is a cheap way of Alvarez becoming a freeweight world champion. Rocky Fielding, on paper, is the weakest title holder at 168, and not only that, how authentic is his title when Callum Smith holds the real version of that title? You know, is Rocky Fielding even a real world champion? For my money, no, but I suppose, you know, the record books will see him as one. You know, it is what it is. Alvarez should win this fight, and he should win it in good fashion. For my money, Alvarez does everything better than Rocky Fielding. You know, he's better defensively, better footwork, better combination puncher, more offensively gifted, you know, better timing, better counter-punching, more experience. Alvarez is better at everything. The only thing Fielding really brings to the table is size, and he can also punch a bit. But apart from that, Fielding doesn't really bring anything to the table apart from his title. So, yeah, I expect Alvarez to win this fight, and I expect him to win it in good fashion. For my money, you know, despite Rocky Fielding, you know, he did well to go to Germany to beat Zeuger, but, you know, for me, he's a domestic level / European level fighter. There's nothing wrong with that. I just feel that is his ceiling. You know, I felt John Ryder beat Rocky Fielding a couple of years ago, and I also felt Christopher Abrase beat Fielding, so, you know, I feel that is the level Fielding is at. There's nothing wrong with that, but I expect him to come up short in a big way at world level. So, you know, despite Alvarez being a lot smaller, you know, Fielding is like 6'3", whereas Alvarez is what, 5'7". So yeah, Fielding's a lot bigger, but still, I expect Alvarez to do a job on him, and I expect him to win by stoppage in the mid-rounds. I expect Alvarez to, you know, use a good body attack in this fight against the taller man, and I believe he will take him out in the mid-rounds. So, yeah, that should be, you know, that's a mismatch really. Alvarez should win it with quite a bit in hand. We now move on to the undercard. Tevin Farmer versus Francesco Fonseca. Tevin Farmer is defending his IBF super featherweight title. You know, that's a weak title defence, let's be honest. I have seen Fonseca fight before. He's actually fought for this title before when Gervonta Davis had it. He fought Gervonta Davis on the undercard of Mayweather versus McGregor, and he lost to Gervonta Davis by knockout. He made Gervonta Davis look a bit bad, but, you know, he was never really competitive in that fight, and he got knocked out. So, you know, I don't expect Fonseca to really do anything here. I think Farmer should have a relatively easy time with him. Now, I'm not sold on Tevin Farmer, sorry, but I really don't rate Fonseca from what I've seen of him. So Farmer should win that fight. And after this fight, I want to see a step up. You know, I want to see a unification fight, or, you know, just some big fights in general for Tevin Farmer, because I'm not sure how good this guy really is, to be honest. David Lemieux versus Tureano Johnson, arguably the best fight on the card. I am a fan of both guys. Both guys are aggressive. Both guys can punch a bit. Both guys have entertaining styles. This fight should gel really well. You know, I doubt this fight will go the distance, but who knows? It should be a really, really fun fight. Blood and guts. You know, sometimes I enjoy these. Well, I always enjoy these type of fights. I expect David Lemieux to have a bit too much. You know, he's been more active. He's coming off some you know, a bit of form recently. So, yeah, I expect David Lemieux to win it, but I wouldn't be shocked if Tureano Johnson won. You know, Lemieux is favourite. I expect him to win. But Johnson is a live underdog. Like I say, he's tough. He can punch a bit. Should be a fun fight. Katie Taylor versus Eva Wallstrom. I've got to be honest, I am not interested in women's boxing. Call it what you want. It is what it is. I can't really say much more than that. For argument's sake, let's have a look at Eva. What does she look like? Pervin with Del Boy. Let's have a look. She's right, you know. Yeah, Team Eva. We're Team Eva for the Taylor fight. But anyway, let's move on. Saddam Ali versus Mauricio Herrera. That's a good fight. Herrera, you know, he always comes to fight. He's experienced, good inside fighter. You know, kind of old school, rugged, tough. You know, been in there with good guys like Danny Garcia. You know, people like that. You know, Herrera is a good, honest pro, good fighter. And, you know, Saddam Ali, former world champion at super welterweight, also fought for a welterweight title before as well. Saddam Ali is a good fighter in his own right, but very flawed, very vulnerable, kind of relies on his athletic ability a bit too much. But yeah, that should be a good fight, a good comeback fight for Saddam Ali. I think Ali will win this fight because I feel Herrera is a bit past it at this point. But Herrera, definitely a live underdog. That could be a good fight. You know, should gel quite well. And the rest of the fights are basically prospects. Ryan Garcia, I'm kind of unsold on Ryan Garcia. Kind of blows hot and cold. He scored a couple of good knockouts in his career. Has looked good in he's looked good in spots, but also looked a bit vulnerable in other fights. So I'm kind of up in the air about Ryan Garcia. Lamont Roach, I've seen a bit of Lamont Roach in the past. He's okay. Bilal Akawi, I believe he's a sparring partner of Canelo, so we'll see how he looks. Virgil Ortiz, I think he's a good prospect. I'm looking forward to seeing him fight. And Yelese Jr. He beat, who did he beat recently in Canada? Yelese, what was it? Who did he beat? He beat the guy on the undercard of Saunders Lemieux. Ah, and he looked quite good doing it. Ah, the Hebrew Hammer. What's his name? I forgot his name. Cletus Seldin. Yeah, he looks quite good actually. I'm looking forward to seeing Yelese. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name, by the way, but yeah, solid fighter. So overall, it's a decent card. Lemieux versus Johnson, you know, that catches my eye. I like Ali versus Herrera. Good fight. It's always good to see Alvarez fight, regardless of what you think of him. He's entertaining. So yeah, it's a solid card. Share your thoughts below. Peace.